Good morning. This is Jovine from Behind the Markets. First of all, in Florida here today, it is raining cats and dogs. It's been raining all week. I mean, if it keeps raining like this, we're going to have to build an ark or something like that. That's how crazy it's been. So I've been soaking wet. But today I wanted to talk about a very touchy and very personal subject, which is cancer and chemotherapy. We all know how brutal cancer is and chemotherapy is. I remember when I was growing up, my grandmother was the first person I knew that had cancer, and she was diagnosed and she seemed fine. I was very young at the time until she started chemo. Then she got very sick. And I remember back then there used to be an expression, the chemo will get you before the cancer ever does. And that always struck me. That always landed with me. And I remember as I developed into an investor as an adult, I remember reading a study in the Lancet Oncology. It was published in 2014, and it said basically that chemotherapy kills up to 50% of cancer patients at some hospitals. Now, some of this is due to the type of care received at some hospitals, but 50% shocked me. That number just shocked me. I dug down into the research around that time when I was battling my own health issues. What I learned is that chemotherapy really just didn't attack cancer cells. It also attacked healthy cells. And in that way, the analogy I used is that chemo treatments were kind of like dumb bombs dropped in World War II. I mean, just imagine flying over Germany and just dropping bombs everywhere, all over, just to hit a factory. Just really dumb bombs. It's indiscriminate. It just hits everything. And there's a new class of drugs that we've talked about here for a while called Antibody Drug Conjugates, or ADCs. This is part of a new class of drugs called smart chemo because they're more like precision-guided missiles. They go right after the cancer cells. And we've done very well the past couple of years focusing on these smart chemo stocks. I mean, you think about ImmunoGen, which we recommended, and it got taken over 463% higher than our recommended price. Seagen, which we recommended, which was taken over by Pfizer at a nice, big, fast profit for us to take over target. So we've done pretty well. And I wanted to bring your attention back to a special report we wrote a few months back, Smart Chemo. And we really highlight the different companies that we like that are really leading this ADC revolution, this smart chemo revolution. And one of the companies in that special report is Daiichi Sankyo. The symbol is DSKYF. They have a drug, and this is more of a public service announcement. I'm not trying to tease a special report here because we're talking about cancer. This is some serious stuff. But they have a new drug called Enhertu, Enhertu, which is a breast cancer drug. And I think Daiichi is like the best big pharma company you never heard of. It's like Japan's Pfizer. We recommended shares back in February, back at $32 a share, went to 45, and it's now at 39, so it's pulled back a little bit. In our Smart Chemo special report, we focus on a few of these stocks. This is just one of them. And the reason I like them is this Enhertu is considered the most potent drug ever developed for breast cancer. And again, I'm revealing the name to you, even though we're in the business of selling research, because we're talking about breast cancer. And I've had a lot of friends that have gone through this. This is the most serious stuff in the world. And I want to make sure, God forbid, you or your loved one ever has to deal with this, that you go to your doctor and you say, Enhertu, Enhertu. You ask for that. If you are able to go for that, if that drug applies to your specific condition, then God willing, you get access to it because it stopped tumors in their tracks. I mean, it's pretty powerful. But this is part of this new class of ADCs, smart chemo drugs, and the companies that are making these new smart chemo drugs are really changing how we treat cancer. And I'm very bullish on this in the long term. Oncology is something I'm very interested in. It's something that we've done very well at Biotech Insider. We've just killed it the past 6 years investing in oncology stocks. So I just wanted to say that I'm a big believer in smart chemo. They are doing to cancer drugs what smart bombs, precision-guided weapons did to warfare, just revolutionizing the way that we fight cancer. I hope you never need it as a patient, but you certainly might want it as an investor. Have a wonderful day.